So today we're talking about using partial quotients. Just as a reminder, it is a division tool that you can use, especially if you're not really great at your multiplication facts yet. Okay, so let's just take an example of how to use partial quotients. For instance, if I have the number 86, and if I want to divide that number by 5, okay, partial quotients just means you're just taking bits and pieces away from the actual number that you have in order to solve it. So for instance, I'm going to draw this line down just to separate it. The first thing I've asked our students to do is write down some factors that include the number 5. So I'm going to start with the number 5, and I'm going to start with 5 times 1 equals 5. 5 times 2 equals 10. I'm doing this for a reason. I know that you know your factors of 5, but I just want to, I'm trying to, number one, it gives them great practice at practicing their factors, and it will help them when they're trying to figure out what their partial quotients are. So I'm now up to 6. I'm only going up to the number 9. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 8 is 40. And of course, 5 times 9 is 45. Okay. Now, you notice that our divisor is 5. And so our divisor matches all of these numbers right here. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I see that I have the number 86. What I want to do is I want to find a partial product that might get me very close to the number 86. Now, I could use one of these, or I could also use what the kids and I know as the powers of 10. So I have 5 times 10 equals 50, 5 times 20 equals 100, and so on and so on. Okay, in this case, I'm going to really show you how to do partial quotient just so that you really have a good understanding. So I know that the highest I can go if I just use a basic fact of 5 times 9 is 45. So I'm going to use that one right there. So I'm going to write down 45 right here. And I know that this is actually 5 times 9, which equals 45. Now, you know that division is actually repeated subtraction, just like multiplication is repeated addition. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and subtract out what I have. So 6 minus 5 is 1. 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay, now I know that I have 41 left. What I need to do is look back over here in my list of factors and multiples, and I need to find one maybe that's very close, or I could even go with this one right here. Okay, it doesn't matter which one you do. Of course, you want to try to do it the quick way, but once again, it doesn't really matter if you're doing partial quotients, except for if you want to do it quickly. So in this case, I'm just going to choose 5 times 8 this time because I know that it is very close to 41. So now I'm going to say 5 times 8, I know is 40. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 40 from 41, and I get 1. Now what I've asked the kids to do is look at their number that's left over. I have nothing else to divide with. So I have a 1 left over, which makes that our remainder because it is smaller than the divisor. So the divisor is 5, 1 is smaller than that, therefore it becomes our remainder. Okay, so I'm going to circle that just so I remember it's my remainder. Now to figure out what your answer is, all you have to do is take these numbers right here and add them up. So I know 9 plus 8 equals 17. So my final quotient is 17, remainder 1. Now I know that you're probably asking yourself, why in the world would I do that? That just takes so long and oh my gosh. But remember, not all kids are really excellent at their multiplication facts yet. When they can get it this way by doing the multiples and then doing the powers of 10 if they need to, it is a lot simpler for those kids. Okay, so here's lesson number one. I'm going to make another one here in one moment.